You will be known for that. If you do everything, you will not be known for nothing.
Whenever I go to events now, most of the architectural events, people talk about all their accolades, right? Awards, projects, they explain everything. But basically, nobody tells how to go there. That's been my biggest problem right from my young age. Like, I'll be like in awe for people like, okay, அப்பலாம் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்றீங்க, முதல்ல இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் எப்படி கிடைக்கும், ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது எப்படி ஆரம்பிச்சிருப்பாங்க. They also struggle like we did. What are the mistakes they did? Started as an undergraduate thesis and now it's a 2 million square foot practice. So that's a big number, right? Your motto is value addition through sensible design. Okay. So generally the trend is to have some flashy design, get attention and stuff. What really do you mean by sensible design?
Okay.
You won the IAS National Award for Excellence and you've been listed in the Forbes Top 30, which is a big thing.
It's a very interesting question. So before you see the number of awards which I have won, you should see the number of awards I have lost. Actually,
that was my other question. How do you handle when you lost? A plus B to be remembered for 50 years from now, right? How do you want people to remember Vignesh or A plus B?
Like very simple, our motto is there. It's very important. That is your game changer. You yourself cannot see design and architecture as a profession is iterative. You keep learning by making mistakes. So if you keep making mistakes in different areas,
So I'm SSR, I'm the founder of D-Hub for Architects. D-Hub for Architects is a community which we started in 2020 December after the first COVID wave. The idea was to create an army of architects who will practice and confidently and ethically. Basically, architects and designers, we lack professional skills, business skills. So I just wanted to share my knowledge. I was lucky enough to gain the entrepreneurial knowledge by doing it. Like earlier, I used to be a CEO of a firm, which we scaled up from 7-member team to 150 plus member team across Chennai, Bangalore, Coimbatore and Jaipur. So I realized that many architects who came in and joined as senior architects, I used to train them on business and they became intrapreneurs, and quite a few of them are successfully running their practice outside. So in 2020 start, I had this idea of why not do it, whatever I was doing for a company, why not do it for the entire community? Because most of the interns who used to work with me or architects who used to work with me, whenever they step out, they'll call me and they'll keep asking doubts, like how we'll ask doubts to a college senior, right? So I realized that there was a big demand for this, and there were not many organizations or communities which were able to do it. Okay, so that's why we started D-Hub. So in the last 4-5 years, we have done a lot of workshops purely for business skills, and we've done a lot of free sessions. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see 39-40 live sessions where I actually teach how to market, how to sell, how to write fee proposals and everything. And we've also done a lot of initiatives with colleges. We give a finishing school module called Mind the Gap, which is an approved 1-credit module in 3-4 universities. So these are things that we are doing. We are currently working on a portal called Hierarchy, a free portal for architects, designers and professionals, where we can do social as well as professional networking, help each other with jobs, internships, and share and do a LinkedIn, Facebook kind of thing only for us. Okay, these are a few things that we do. So Huddle, the idea was I wanted to, most of the activities of D-Hub were online. We did a cultural activity called RKT 2 years back, just to do dancing, singing and stuff, once in Chennai and once in Coimbatore. So I realized that the in-person meetups actually brought the community together better than an online community. And as a community, we are fragmented. We are fragmented in different places and we work in silos. We don't even know if there's the same firm in my office. They are clients of Prasad as well. I've never interacted with them. Or of course, 2 of the employees have come and met me and spoken, but I never interacted with them because we are not trained to be together and stuff. So I sometimes wonder whether we deserve to be called as community. We are just professionals, that's it, as architects, and of course designers and engineers as well, right? So Huddle, I realized that it is very important for architects in Chennai to meet and have a space to talk, understand and be of help to each other. At least one WhatsApp group should be there, but I have 10,000 people in my WhatsApp group. Okay, but the problem is people don't know each other and people don't know what to ask for, what to do. So we have D-Hub for Architects, we have 10 WhatsApp groups. People can actually ask questions every day between 9 to 10. Now what I realized was, unless we meet people in person, we understand the intent and we understand what the values we stand for, it is not going to work. So That's how we started Huddle. What I wanted to do was basically bring the architects, designers together, meet them, understand why we are doing this at DHub, and then bring together so that we can help each other. Basically, share vendor connects, basically share job requirements, basically share any data that we want. I think we are supposed to help each other so that we grow as a fraternity. So that is one thing. So when I had the idea of Huddle, I would like to thank our title sponsor, Glimmerwood. I know them for last 4-5 years. We've been working together in a lot of interior projects. I was ideating and he was willing to offer the space and the money or the funding that goes behind doing this every month. Similarly, another sponsor is engineer Panchataram. So he is the founder of Jnanam Construction. He's a 2-decade-old engineer. He's an ex-L&T employee, and now he has a team of 40-50 people. He does a lot of large-scale construction and stuff. And so thank you to both of you, by the way. And Mahesh is from Fishy Stuff Photography. Mahesh and Sridhar. So they are cinematographers. And Chaitanya, she is a community manager, and Rahul is a social media guy. So I'm SSR. So this is Huddle. Okay. So today what we are going to do is usually we have the discussion first and then the tour. But because there was a slight Vignesh wanted to come late. So we thought why not finish the tour first and then we sit and discuss once for all. So what we are going to do today is I'm going to interview him. Personally, I know him for almost a decade now.
Yes.
I think I know you from Architecture Red days, if I'm not wrong. So he used to work with Architecture Red. There I met him first, and then I know your initial journey as well. He started on his own. He's won I don't know how many awards. Every year he keeps winning awards. I really want to know what he does there today. Thank you, Vignesh, for coming. I'll formally introduce him. So we'll have a discussion, and then we have a business clarity session. I really want to teach you guys what you lack, basically. And tell you where you have to strengthen yourselves. So it's a small activity. I won't take more than 10-15 minutes for this. And then we'll have a presentation on planning of projects by Mr. Panchacharam. Again, 15-20 minutes, that's it. So we should be wrapping up maximum by 5:30 or 6. Okay. And you'll have a Q&A session and everything. Okay. Can I request everybody to put your mobile phones on silent? I know it's a Saturday. I know all of you are busy professionals, but give undue this thing. Anybody coming, and as you see, this is not a space designed for conducting events. So this is actually their MD room. So we are kind of,
encouraging it,
and because this is the only place where we have the TV and there's an AC, so it is going to be slightly hot as well. So please adjust. Last week and all, we had almost full. People are actually standing and all. But this week, I don't know, it's raining or something. Many have not turned up. And thanks for people who come from all over the place. Thank you, guys. Fine. So Vignesh, I'll formally introduce Vignesh to you guys. Architect V.S. Vigneswar. He's the founder and the principal architect of Architecture Plus Value, which is based in Chennai. Value addition through sensible design defines Vignesh's work ethic. He founded A plus V, that is Architecture Plus Value, with the same motto. A plus V had humble beginnings as an undergraduate research thesis and is currently a design and build firm with close to 2 million square foot of built projects, many of which have won awards both nationally and internationally. Some of the top honors won by the firm include the India's highest award for architecture, the Indian Institute of Awards National Award for Excellence in 2016, and being listed by Forbes magazine as the top 30 emerging designers in India, amongst many more. A plus V is currently involved in the creation of more than 1,000 homes across South India and is in charge of institution campus designs of close to 200 acres. So Vignesh graduated his bachelor's in architecture from CEPT University, Ahmedabad, and his master's at Delft University of Technology. I hope I got this.
Yeah.
The Netherlands, which are among the top ranking universities in the world and the India and the world respectively. His work has been published in various leading publications like The Hindu, The Better India, and several design magazines. Before starting A plus V, he has had extensive professional experience handling a wide variety of projects in multiple firms. He also extended his learning through travels and workshops inside India and abroad in Europe and Mexico. Besides his practice, he has also served as a visiting faculty at some of the top architecture colleges in Chennai, namely the School of Architecture and Planning, SAP Anna University, which is at Gindi, and Miyasi Academy of Architecture. And his office is located in Keel Park Gardens. And thank you, Vignesh, for being with us. So as I said, I think Vignesh should be younger to me by at least 4-5 years. No,
I don't know. Whichever is
எந்த இயர் நீங்க பாஸ்ட் அவுட் கிராஜுவேட் பண்ணீங்க?
I'm 86 born.
Oh, we are almost the same age.
Same age.
Yeah. I'm 85 born.
Okay.
So we should be of the same age. But I think I met Vignesh in one
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Architecture Red was hosting a New Year's party. You know Architecture Red, right? Biju and what was it? Kishore Panikkar, right? So one of our friends was working there. Sundar, Sri Sundar or someone. He was working there. So he said,
correct.
Machan, there's a New Year's party. My boss said you can bring anybody. So me and Arun, my another friend, we both went just for chilling out. It was a cocktail dinner, right? So that's where I met him first, and then suddenly after 1 or 2 years, we had to meet again for an IA event or something. He was practicing. So the name was very unique, Architecture Plus Value. I famously remember making fun of நாங்களாம் வேல்யூ கொடுக்கறது இல்லையா. So that's how I know. But having seen as a contemporary, right? So we grew our firm from 2013 to 20. Like we were growing in numbers in terms of number of people, number of projects, and this thing. And while we were also seeing other people like Vignesh, to name VB Studios. These are people who they started along with us, but they were getting published. They were getting awards, not the paid ones, but awards where actually you have a jury and getting done. So I've always had an admiration for him, and I've vocally expressed it as well. So thank you, Vignesh, for it. This is my personal take on this thing. So today I'm going to ask you a few questions. The idea is to ensure that most of them are young here, except sir. Thank you for joining us, sir. He is architect Subramanian. So he's Murli Murugan sir's batchmate, and I was sharing all the Huddle events in all the groups, right? So there is a group called VR Chennai Architects. So apparently he is part of it. I've constantly promoted that. He was like, what the hell are these guys doing? I'm going to come and see. So thank you, sir. Thank you for being here, and thank you. Okay, so I have a set of questions. And then I have a surprise pack at the end. Okay.
He hasn't shared these questions with me, so I don't know what I'm going to speak. It's going to be fully impromptu.
Yeah. No, it's going to be basically taking you through your journey. The whole idea is whenever I go to events now, most of the architectural events, people talk about all their accolades, right? Awards, projects, they explain everything. But basically, nobody tells how to go there. So that's been my biggest problem right from my young age. Like I'll be like in awe for people like, okay, அப்பலாம் ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்றீங்க, முதல்ல இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் எப்படி கிடைக்கும், ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது எப்படி ஆரம்பிச்சிருப்பாங்க, they also struggle like we did. What are the mistakes they did? So any session that I do, I'll ensure that I talk about the journey, where you started, because not many people taste success, and not many even people who taste success, they're there momentarily and then they have a deep fall. So I really want to track the journey. So it's about you only. Don't worry. So the first thing is Architecture Plus Value. I read in your thing that it started as an undergraduate thesis, and now it's a 2 million square foot practice. So that's a big number, right? So can you take us back to that student moment when this idea was born, and when you wanted to transition the same idea? Because I also did a thesis, but it didn't strike me that I can actually take my thesis idea and continue into a practice. So walk us through that.
Okay, so rewinding and going back almost like 13 years back when I was in Ahmedabad, I can tell you that thesis is something which is the one moment where you're allowed to find yourself. Like they allow you free. You are supposed to find yourself where your passion lies or what you want to do. And I have to thank my college for allowing us the freedom to explore. Except thesis has no timeline.
Okay.
They allow you to do whatever you want, whenever you want, for how many years ever you want.
And the fee you pay only once or every?
Fee is 4,000 rupees when I was there. So fee didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Okay. My parents were paying their maid more than they were paying for my studies. So I was okay. So that was what was happening there. And the thing is that I chose a particular thesis out of compulsion only. Because in CEPT it was like very strict. Your topic will not get approved unless and until there's a panel of people who are sitting there, and then they will tell you that this is what you need to do. So I was kind of irritated that they chose that topic for me over what I wanted to do. I wanted, see, my interest was always in something else. I'll come back to it later. But they were forcing me to do something there. Like, for example, they were looking at documentation of heritage was something which was very, it was a very hot topic in CEPT at that point in time. Literally, all the professors wanted to have a student who documented something in the heritage area and brought it into the library as a document. So I wanted to do real estate and industry. I wanted to study that, but they didn't allow me. They allowed me only to study heritage architecture. So I did research on heritage architecture, and the culmination of that was how to add value to these heritage structures. You have these dead structures. What are you going to do with them? You document them and you put them in one bureau and put it in one cupboard and say heritage. What are you going to do? Are you going to monetize them? So then I started researching on what these guys who are owning these houses doing. Houses. I was doing houses only. Just keep it locked, these older houses. And it's just waste of money, waste of land, waste of everything.
Yes.
So then we kind of researched on how we can monetize them. So like, for example, this is like our Chennai core area, Chowkarpet, okay, those areas, Parktown, Georgetown, those areas, there you will see these beautiful old houses which are almost going to like die. They're in the dying stages. So then I went to this landowner after I finished my documentation and told my professor, "Inda vechko." Then I went and spoke to the owner and said, "Innana panna poringa indha veedu vechikku idu idich thaliduvingala?" Yes, எனக்கு வந்து இப்போ எனக்கு இந்த வீடு இருக்கிற வீடை நான் இடிச்சிட்டு நான் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் கட்டினேன்னா எனக்கு அதுல 2 லட்சம் ரூபாய் வாடகை வரும். ஓகேங்களா? Then the conversation started was, what is your return on investment? It went through one big cycle and then reached the point, what is your return on investment? நீ எவ்வளவு ரூபாய் செலவு பண்ணுவ அந்த வீடு கட்டுறதுக்கு, அந்த காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் கட்டுறதுக்கு? அந்த வாடகையை நான் வந்து உனக்கு கொஞ்சம் கம்மியா வரும், பட் இருக்கிற பில்டிங்லேயே நான் வந்து ரெனோவேட் பண்ணி எடுத்துன்னு வந்தேன்னா you will have an heritage building, you will have something unique, you will have revenue, and there will be something which I'm saving for the city also. It was a win-win kind of a situation for everyone.
That's why you took the name architecture plus value.
Yeah, no, that was not the point.
That was not the value.
That was not the value. Value was because I was insulted by my professor. Professor Neet Kanchaya, when in my final year thesis, he came up to me and said, "Where is the value in what you're doing, Vignesh? There's no value in what you're doing. Please get out of my studio." That was the word he said to me. That time, konja surran eridichu. Edana panna, I'll do something with value. Okay, so that is how I named my firm that time itself, Architecture Plus Value. So it was something which was named almost like 16 years back, before I even came to architecture and everything. So that is where I started. The name Architecture Plus Value came from there, and then it kind of stuck with me during this research thesis days. And I used that research thesis to start. My first project was that. My first project was Berry Chettiar House, which was a renovation of an old house, which I converted into a commercial office space. So that is how I started.
Nice. Thank you. Okay, CEPT or TU Delft, Netherlands. How did these institutions shape your thinking?
I would say that they had a huge impact on me, because the institutions where you study are very important. And it's not just the institutions, it's the teachers. It's the teachers who, impart knowledge to you. And I feel that I was blessed with very good teachers in both areas. And I chose Delft because it had a very different, it had a very different genre compared to CEPT. CEPT had a very, communistic or leftistic policies towards architecture. They were always looking at, community development and those kind of things. Whereas TU Delft was on the complete other extreme, corporate, fully capitalist. Okay, so Netherlands is like the core hub of capitalism, and Ahmedabad Gandhiism is on the total extreme end. That kind of appealed to me, and the thing is that again, exchange was free for me. So TU Delft was literally there. I didn't pay any tuition fee. I was paying the same 4,000 to CEPT. So that was like a major boost for me. So I got the opportunity. They had a big list of universities, and incidentally, I got the top rank in my class. So I could choose which university I wanted. There was Switzerland. Everyone was saying Switzerland boy sandoshama iranda ena ingalam pora. But I was very happy. I wanted to go to Netherlands because it had that little bit of rebelliousness towards architecture. So that was what was happening with Netherlands. And Netherlands was very good because it exposed me to a different way of doing things, because they were looking at larger projects, like developer driven architecture. That is where I got interested in how real estate developers work. So that is where my interest in that segment started.
Later note, better coffee shops.
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yes, definitely. Yes.
Amsterdam has a lot of nice places.
Yes, it does. It does. It's the place where you should be in your early 20s.
Or even
before you get married.
even later. Okay. So your motto is value addition through sensible design. Okay. So generally the trend is to have some flashy design, get attention and stuff. What really do you mean by sensible design?
Okay. Sensible design means, like, for example, see, a lot of times, I don't know how far this will get published, but like when I was working.
We are publishing this on YouTube.
Okay.
Hardly 500 to 1,000 people will watch.
Okay.
But if the content is really good, we'll post a reel which might go to a lakh also.
Okay. So
You can get as controversial as possible. With me, you can get. I'm not scared.
like, I was literally irritated with the way architecture was being practiced. And it is all about looks. And especially after Instagram, the whole architecture industry and the way the professionals are performing. I'm not saying I don't want to be on Instagram. I definitely want to be. I want to publish myself. I also want followers. But at some point I got a little frustrated, and this was like during Facebook days itself, not Instagram days. And it was completely visual. It was only about doing something which my ex-employer, was doing something which was flashy. And I used to get berated for thinking about stuff like, sir, இந்த இடத்துல இவ்ளோ cantilever தேவையா சார்? கொஞ்சம் அந்த இடத்துல ஒரு extra column கொடுத்து, can we not save some steel there?
The visual appeal takes priority sometimes, which should not be.
So I was working on this college campus, doing something there. Okay. So this was a huge 2 lakh square feet building. And in that building, one of the interns, அவன் சும்மா இல்லாம ஸ்கெட்சப்ல பிரிக்க தூக்கி அது மேல போட்டான்.
என்னது?
பிரிக் மெட்டீரியலை தூக்கி அந்த ஒரு ஃபுல் மாஸ் மேல போட்டான். அது ஒரு 8 மாடி மேல சும்மா இல்லாம அந்த ஒரு பெயிண்ட் பக்கெட் தூக்கி அது மேல போட்டான். சீனியர் ஆர்கிடெக்ட் கேம் அண்ட் saw that. எனக்கு பிரிக் தான் வேணும். Okay, I'm like, sir, how will they clad that whole thing, sir? And what is the timeline? Whether will they be able to do it? And I was the project architect, so literally I had to work with the site engineers and all these people. So I know what happens with site teams. I know how difficult it is for them to execute something, and of the kind of quality which they want, or like how they struggle to bring out that quality on site. So I was telling him, sir, why don't we go for texture paint, sir? Because it will be like, it will be easier for them to finish it on time, and it will also save them a lot of cost.
It will be timeless as well, right?
Yeah, it will be timeless also. We can get the same kind of hue if you want. The brick hue, we can get it in color. Why do you want to go for brick? No, I want brick. Because it looks good. Because at one point, the university themselves came back and said, we don't want this cladding because it is going to cost us an X amount, which we would much rather use in investing in infrastructure for the university. And my employer used Harvard University as a reference, and he went to the chief owner and he showed Harvard and said, see, brick, their brick, you brick, brick. So that was something which I was very irritated with. I didn't like that whole culture of doing something
just for the
visual impact. And that is where I said sensible design.
Well, one thing I'd like to resonate with you, when SketchUp came into this thing, right? Earlier when we studied and all, we used to do modeling, 3D modeling, we used to do with AutoCAD 3D, and then Studio Max was these two tools. So SketchUp was very new. SketchUp was with Google, not Tremble. I don't know. We used SketchUp from the Google days, right?
Yeah.
So once SketchUp came, every design I saw was actually SketchUp driven.
Correct.
It was not sketch driven. It was not visually. Like, because SketchUp has those tools, right? You can draw a rectangle, pull, and then you can have that. I don't know. It's been a decade since I used SketchUp. It used to have that offset command, and you can push it out, and then you can do something there, and you can pull it out. So it's fun to do there. But the thing is, many buildings in Chennai, Bangalore that I see, I can very well say that hey, SketchUp la kandipa pannirukanga. All those cantilever things where you will have something like a trapezoid,
Correct.
which is a pulled mark. Everything is SketchUp driven. So one software which hugely impacted. Right? I will be like, never do massing with SketchUp. You sketch, even if it is bad, it is fine. If you want to do it in AutoCAD 3D, I'm completely fine. But once you finalize everything, then come to SketchUp and do your modeling, because that's of course easier. The software is easier. Something similar.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1,000 plus homes and 200 acres of campus. How do you manage clients' dreams or expectations and the architect in you coming up with a pragmatic design and doing it?
Okay, so this is basically our core business. We tie up with a lot of large developers and universities, and we are the chief architects for them. So that is how we have been able to scale up our organization. So the scaling up happened because we partnered with larger, clients. So, and how we got into those clients was another story altogether. But the thing is that, like, if you tell me how I manage it with them, we have a very good team, and we have a very clear process. If this is what we want to achieve, and I take care of quality control. So, in terms of like that, whether the design process is meeting what is required in terms of the like where we want the design to end up with, because most of the time these clients they can always become a bad client at any given point in time. So you have to really shepherd them towards good architecture. Like, and what is good architecture is not something which is like this brick thing which I explained to you. Like when you really have you seen this movie 3 BHK?
Not yet. I started watching, but not yet. Yeah.
You should see it.
Okay.
It's very important. It's superb movie it is, because it really teaches you how hard a family works to get a home. And that is where we are working as, like, when we work with the developer. So we are working with literally creating homes in the sub 1 crore segment. Like, and that is where in this, we have already crossed the 1,000 mark long back. But when we design a home for that category, and they spend their literal life in getting that home. So you have a huge responsibility. You can't look at just satisfying the client in terms of numbers. Obviously, we have to achieve a certain business, business equation for that project to be successful in terms of FSI, in terms of saleability, in terms of cost efficiency and all those things. But at the same time, your ultimate responsibility comes to that one home. So you can't afford to just stuff in homes everywhere and achieve that. So you literally have to play the Robin Hood, where you sit with the developer, say that, see, konjam idu panna the project will be better, and if you lose one stack of units, it's fine, but I will create one garden, and you can charge preferred location charges for the units which are seeing that garden. So you will achieve your net revenue, the project will be better, and I'm building little less density.
Win-win for everyone.
Win-win for everyone. So that is something which we have to work towards.
Including the buyer whom you've never met in life.
Yes. That is what is important. I really feel passionately about that family which wants to live in my house. And same thing applies for universities. Because, see, again, this is purely driven by my individual, how do I put it? Individual happiness. Because for universities, when I studied in CEPT, I had a beautiful life. When I came back here, girls, boys, separate, no meeting each other. So all that was very, very, weird. So I wanted to bring a totally different kind of a revolution in terms of educational architecture. So our first project was this project called Hut Cafe in Rajalakshmi Engineering College. So that was our first institutional project. And that project was it was such a big hit that the client never left us after that. So they continuously started giving projects one after the other for us, and seeing that other campuses have come to us. So that project started out by simply saying, how can I create an environment for students to hang out and have fun? That is all. It is a simple thing. Like, there were a lot of trees. They wanted to create a massive shed and put one canteen inside it. We said, we'll create some nice huts between those trees and create some plinth level variations, and I will use recycled stone, so you will spend lesser and it will be just naturally ventilated. We'll use rugged concrete furniture. They save a lot of money, and the timeline was also very small, small, and they were able to finish it within their like budget and goal. But the students loved it. It was, and the reason why they loved it was one thing, the trees and the ambience. The second thing was because it was not possible to police it.
Okay.
Literally, you can't see who is inside that because you can hide behind the tree. So that was something which the students loved, and that was something which I really wanted to do. So that is the reason why that cafe became so popular among students there.
I'm going. I might go there for a speech. I'll go visit that cafe.
Yeah, it's not maintained well, but still you can see flocks of students sitting inside.
Okay. So, any weird client request that you would like to remember and share with us, which you kind of navigated or maneuvered it or shepherded them towards the right this thing?
I mean, I'm like off my head. I can only think of one thing. We're doing a large housing project right in Anagaram only, and it's not weird. I just want to share the experience in that direction. The land has an X area, like let me just say 1,000 square meters. Suddenly one day when they submit to CMDA, they come up with one weird number which CMDA says that it is 2,000. Okay, and that is there in the document. And unfortunately, that has also got reflected, and our FSI figure becomes almost half. So the client says, எனக்கு அவ்வளோ ஃப்ரீயாக கிடையாது, எனக்கு இம்மீடியட்டாக 10 கட்டு, எனக்கு இப்பயே வேணும், ஓவர் நைட். ஓகேங்களா, நாளைக்கு சப்மிஷனு, எனக்கு தெரியாது நீ என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணுவேன், எனக்கு இப்போ இந்த பில்டிங்ல.
So you have extra FSI to play with.
Yeah, literally the area doubled. Literally the area doubled overnight. ஓகேங்களா, what was the achievable area?
Okay, so you had to redesign the submission drawing. CMDA
Yes,
submission.
எல்லாமே முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. Structure over, MEP
How
over.
do you do it overnight?
That is the real game, no? So we have to bring everyone together. Okay, overnightலாம் முடியாது. We need 1 week நான் சொல்லிட்டேன். So then we brought the entire team together, made them sit and say, இது எப்பரா பண்ணலாம்? The client has come. Our team obviously started boiling. Sir, என்ன சார் இது? இப்படிலாம் எப்படி சார் கேட்க முடியும் அவங்க? ஐரஸ் கட்ட சொல்லுங்க சார். There was no road width. That is not possible. So we literally had to look at achieving that amount of density in a small parcel of land, and without compromising light and ventilation for each unit. It was a beautiful exercise. I really loved it because it was so challenging. Less time, we had to put so much of density, and we had to achieve it. I'm still yet to convince the client.
Okay, it's in process.
It's in process because the client is very adamant that she wants the density. I'm saying we'll build slightly lesser and we'll give more greenery in that. I'll give you PLC. So that's a negotiation process which is going on right now with that particular client. So that's, if you ask me something weird, this is something which is immediately came to my mind.
Okay, now let's get into the awards part. Okay.
Yeah.
So you won the IAS National Award for Excellence, and you've been listed in the Forbes Top 30, which is a big thing, by the way. So how do these awards change the way you design? That's the first part. The second part is, how do these awards change the way the clients, your prospective clients or existing clients, see you? Do they actually have, does your voice have more weight when you have an award?
That's a very interesting question. So before you see the number of awards which I have won, you should see the number of awards I have lost. Actually,
that was my other question. How do you handle when you lost? Anyways, yeah.
So IA I won once. I've been applying for the past 10 years. I just won once. So 9 times I've lost. So it doesn't matter that I lose. What matters is if I get shortlisted, I get to go to the event. I get to meet people there. Like I meet really interesting people there. See really interesting projects.
Last year you and Murli had been. Last year or the year previous to that?
The year previous, like we
both of you got shortlisted. From
correct.
Chennai, Tamil Nadu, you guys were.
Both of us were shortlisted. So it's very interesting. I can sit right next to Murli sir and ask him what he's doing in his office, or what is happening like in his like core, what you don't share normally in public circles. Like those kind of conversations, when you get little high, that is when you can have. So that is what happens in most of these events and networking places.
No, but my question was, do you change your design having in mind, okay, because I understood that you're ethical in terms of you're ethical to the end user. So you you negotiate with the client, and then obviously you are working with the commercial aspect as well. Now somewhere in between this, do these awards shape your design? Like,
It gives me the confidence, I would say. It gives me the confidence, inner confidence, I would say. Externally, the clients whom I work with do not really see these awards. They probably Forbes brings in more of a credential to them than IAA, even though IAA is far more difficult to win than Forbes, because IAA has a huge jury. There was like 3 levels of shortlisting, and then you will have all these old people sitting and scrutinizing you up and down what you did, every decision you made. Forbes is far more simpler than that. So they only see your overall history.
It has more commercial value.
Yes. It has more commercial value. Like that, we have also been part of this Freud event for the past 8 years now. We won almost 6 times in that. So that is also completely jury driven.
Okay.
So we get a lot of feedback. We meet like young people. So that is below 35. Until I turned 35, I was part of that. So we were able to meet a lot of young practitioners of my age group across India. And that brought in a lot of diverse things. And your question of whether it changes your design, yes, it definitely does. Because you see all these people, you see all these designs, it impacts you in a very positive way.
In a positive way.
Yeah, when you come and start designing something, you'll be like, okay.
No, my question actually was, okay, in the feature இந்த இடத்துல வச்சனா அந்த அவார்டு ஜூரி போகும்போது
அது பண்ண முடியாது. ஏன்னா ஏமா அந்த ஜூரியில உட்காருவோம், என்ன பாப்பான்னு நம்மளுக்கு ஒண்ணுமே தெரியாது. அது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு ஃப்ளூக் லக் தான் அது.
ஆனா any building that you thought இதுக்கெல்லாம் கண்டிப்பா கிடைக்காது, but you won an award for it?
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay.
At Cafe, I never thought will win.
Okay.
But it won. It got shortlisted in IAA. It's very simple.
It won as well.
It didn't win.
Okay.
But it got shortlisted. The project which won was something like some national assembly or something. So obviously I can't compete with that. But the thing is that I got to present it alongside that kind of a project, right? That itself is a huge win for me.
Okay. Now next one is, how has teaching helped you? So you teach at Jasi and SAP. So how has teaching helped you in terms of in your practice, real world practice, and why should people go and teach? Practicing architecture, why should we teach?
Good question. Why should we go and teach? Because when we go and teach, only we realize how much we don't know. That is fundamental truth. When we go and teach, only we will be in a position wherein, like, when you start guiding them, then only you will realize the extent of your own knowledge. Like, I really like going to housing semesters because people have very different views. Like the guys who are designing there or girls who are designing there, they have their own very weird way of looking at things, which is very interesting to me. You need to go there just to get a different perspective, and more than anything, it's also again giving back to some extent to the society in terms of knowledge sharing and other things. So that is also very important. In our profession, I feel that instead of making it purely a business, like seeing it as a profession also is important. And teaching makes it more, closer to that. That is what I feel.
Sure. And if you had to redesign the architecture curriculum, what are the subjects, or what is one subject that you would like to add today which doesn't exist?
I don't know. I graduated 10 years back, so I don't know the curriculum now. But
it's the same.
So if that is the case, then definitely I will make it 3 years with mandatory 2 years of internship. Okay. And in the 3 years, 1 year will be pure business and computer skills. The weightage which the curriculum has to give to business skills.
I'm also vouching for the same.
And computer skills. Okay, let us not shy away from that. We are going to become a technologically driven profession completely. There's no going back. We used to get scolded at in SEPT for using the computer itself, literally. We had to hand draft everything, render everything in hand. They used to scold us.
Even in NASA, the LIK trophy holds much more bigger weightage, or holier than thou this thing compared to others, right?
Yeah, so today my office is literally running on AI. I downsized my team because of AI.
I did the same.
So literally I have what used to be teams of interns. My ex-intern is here.
Yeah.
So what used to be teams of interns sitting and researching is just one intelligent guy who was sitting and giving prompts on a system and coming up with varied possibilities for me to just sit with them and say, hey, we use AI to generate prompts for another AI. Okay, so it is like literally fun. I don't even look at the time, and I've sat till 12 o'clock in the night just doing prompts. It's interesting, right? Like, that is what is going to happen to the field. We are going to be more and more technologically driven, and definitely business skills are going to come to the fore. So, and ours is a practical field, SSR. It is not a theoretical field.
Theoretical field, yes.
You can't sit
So
in
what
a
do you
classroom.
propose? You propose 3 years of curriculum and 1 year of
2
internship.
years of internship, 6 months in 4 different offices.
Okay.
I think that is like my take.
But this should happen after what? 4th year, 5th year, this should happen.
Ideally,
No,
after
I'll
second.
tell you why we have this 6-month internship and not a 1 year internship. Okay. Logically speaking, the colleges have to get fees for all the 5 years. Okay. Now that if they give a 1 year internship, the next logical question that the parents or anybody will ask is, if you are not there for 1 year and if you are going to go out, you are not spending your EB or your professors or anything. Why should we pay money for it? So that's a logical question. So even when some colleges or universities had 1 year, they will have one in the 8th semester and 9th semester, 4th year ending and 5th year, because they have this thing. And also the other thing is we are driven guided by both AICT and COA. Many people don't understand this. So it requires a 1:10 faculty ratio. AICT's norm is only 1:20. So even though students are not here for training, people have to have, even see, if a batch, you have 40 intake, 80 intake and all, right? So if a batch has only 15 people, you still have to maintain 4 staff for that per batch.
I understood.
It's not about how many people. That's how the rules are. Now, if people are able to tweak this rule, then the colleges might come down on this. Otherwise, students end up paying the fee and they come to the internship, right? So this is a practical problem. Now, 3-year program is a completely good thing to do. The thing is, once you have all the 3 years and then the 4th or 5th year, right? If it goes out, the universities don't get paid. Now, this is practically impossible to get passed as a policy or a bylaw, because the people who take the decisions are the ones who are benefiting out of this.
I am not looking at it from that perspective at
No,
all.
generally speaking, what we wanted.
One more thing which I want to tell you is, lot of universities started architecture as a course during that 1 year internship period. Literally because it made more profitability for them to open an architecture course, because 1 year they were paying fees and there was nothing happening in the college. That is the reason why so many architecture colleges came up.
Many
in
have
that
shut down, right?
Many have shut down. Now once they become 6 months, the whole thing changed.
Fine. So yeah, I concur on that part where you have to teach business for at least 1 year, because without which I'm going to take another session, you'll understand why we need business skills, right? The other thing is, what you've done a lot of projects, awards and everything. Is there a dream project that you still want to do?
I always like what Yogesh did in BP Design Lab, like design the National War Memorial.
I remember, yeah.
That is something which is a dream project for me. I didn't take part in that competition because I didn't believe in competitions. I always thought that they were, always rigged. But when Yogesh won it, I first time realized that a competition could actually be.
They won both first and third.
Yes, correct. So I realized that a competition can have so much value, and every Independence Day or Republic Day, when the heads of state go there, I'm sure he must be feeling happy.
Yes.
So that's the project.
I remember that moment. At that time, we were friends with them, right? I mean, even now we are friends.
Yeah.
But when they won it, we were discussing, because it was a huge project. They have not handled to that scale.
Yes.
So we were just brainstorming with them on how to go. When they were forced to do both PMC and design.
Correct.
And the values are up and north of 1 crore or something. Then the payment cycle is so stringent. If they had to appoint a PMC, they had to spend out of their pocket. So I know literally the financial crunch they faced to get that project done.
I know.
I'll talk to you about later. Talk about this later to you. But yeah, it was a very, very prestigious thing, because they won both the first and third.
Correct.
Okay, something like that of national importance. Yeah. Okay. If you want A+B to be remembered for 50 years from now, right? How do you want people to remember Vignesh or A+B?
Like very simple. Our motto is there: a firm which added value to the city. We literally contributed to the built volume of the city in a very positive way. That is the way we want to be remembered. Like, okay, in the project parba, in nariya greenery irukku, in the apartments la irukravanga konja nariya வெளிச்சம் இருக்கு அவங்களுக்கு. So that is a kind of university students இங்க போனா நான் சந்தோஷமா இருக்கேன். Or like we do a lot of commercial buildings also. Like in commercial buildings also we look look at the profitability of the building to the owner. Like the owners saying that, okay, this building is still profitable to me in 50 years from now and I'll still retain it rather than junk it. So we are doing a lot of IT parks in Ambattur itself. So that is the kind of firm we want to be remembered for.
But I have this quote. I didn't say this quote. One of my another architect from the community told, architecture is overrated here. Architects are underrated. People will talk high about architecture. Like I saw one post yesterday on Instagram. Okay, it's a faculty or a school. They've written so much about the architecture of a place. It's a school, Darwin School in Mogape. I don't know who this is.
Evolve Architecture Studio.
I don't know who designed it, but the post talked so much about the architecture, not one word about the architecture.
Exactly.
There are a lot of media channels, social media channels, YouTube channels. They talk about they go meet the client and they discuss about the architecture, the interiors and everything. The client's design, explain the design as though they designed it. I once commented like, how tough is it to mention the architect? So then they did what about it? You have to mention the engineer, you have to mention the mason, you have to mention the lighting design. I said, okay, fine, mention everybody. No, when a movie gets over, you have credits for everybody, right? Mention it, but without mentioning about this thing, and you're celebrating just the architecture, making use of it. I really feel that architecture is overrated compared to architects because you're underrated.
Totally true.
This is something that I ask everybody. Name 3 of your favorite buildings in Chennai.
Mine.
Any building.
Okay.
These are well done. Like somebody from outside is going to step into Chennai and they ask you to take to 3 buildings that you like in terms of design.
Okay. One is GK's Convention Center. It's very close from here. It's in Avadi. It's a 1,000-seater convention center that I feel I did my level best in that area.
No, not yours. In general. Oh, you can also include yours.
Okay.
But in general.
Okay. In general, this is the building. These are the buildings that I would like to show anybody who comes to. Okay, I'll still keep GKs there.
I really like that confidence.
Okay, a second will be Senate House on the Marina. It's a beautiful building and it really evokes the sense of a well done architectural
Not a
piece.
colonial era, right? Currently done.
No, the colonial building.
Okay. The next class. Those 3 buildings should not be done in the colonial time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then maybe the MRF building in Greaves Road, Charles Curias.
Okay.
That is a good example of good corporate architecture. I would say that. And I would definitely include some of Murli sir's houses inside that. And maybe 4th, I will include Pramod Balakrishnan, some of his housing projects.
Housing projects, right?
So these both are my mentors. Like literally, Pramod is my senior from college, super senior rather. And Murli sir and me have been very close to each other. I admire both their works. They both work in totally different scales, but they have the same passion towards what they do. So I look up to those seniors which I had.
Nice. Thank you. So I am done with the normal questions. I have a rapid fire. So quick ones. So, Sept or Delft, where did you have more fun? Sept. Hand sketch or any software?
Software.
You are the first one to say that. Okay.
AI. I'll refine it further.
Okay. One architect you would love to collaborate with?
Pramod.
Okay. Favorite project types? Homes, campuses or institutions? Only one.
Housing.
Okay. You're a morning person or night owl?
That's tough. It keeps switching.
How?
Sometimes when I work very late, I'm a night owl. Sometimes I get frustrated in life and my wife screams at me, I become morning.
Okay. Understandable. One city in the world you love to design in? A city, any city.
Okay.
I want to design. I asked this question to Dinesh.
Okay.
My batchmate, Pranav Mantra. He said he's never done a project in Madurai, his hometown.
Oh, like that.
Like that, you can name even Amsterdam, but I just want to know.
Definitely.
Okay, why so?
Because I studied there and I have not done anything there. So.
Right. Coffee, tea or something else that fuels your design marathons?
Not both. I think it is client deadlines.
Water, juice. How do you keep yourself hydrated?
Water.
Okay, your guilty pleasure material. You overuse it but still love it.
Instagram.
Material.
Material,
Material.
like physically.
Physical material like marble, granite.
Oh, like
some
that.
material.
I was thinking addiction. No, okay. Physical material which I really like.
Which you overuse but you still like.
Overuse and really like. I think Sadrali granite. I'll be
Sadrali granite.
very specific. Sadrali granite I really
Clay
love.
kind of.
Yeah, great. I overuse
Why
it.
so?
Because it's like it's the cheapest granite, and I have convinced a lot of clients to go with granite over other materials because I love granite. And
I do the same with Kota stone.
okay,
Okay.
Kota stone is very it is very wannabe.
Let's not get there. Kota stone. யாரெல்லாம் Kota stone பிடிக்கும்? யாருக்கெல்லாம் Sadrali granite பிடிக்கும்? We want
Burnt to finish.
Oh, nice.
Kota stone because it's kind of very true material. Not in a
Yeah.
philosophical way. It's cost effective. And for sure it is, it stands out because people generally go ahead with, anywhere the clients go, forget architects. They see tiles, they see marble, they see granite. Like the moment somebody sees a flooring like Kota or red oxide or yellow or grey or even the traditional Athamudi tiles, right? Now that stands out for the client.
Yeah.
And me personally keeps it very, very cost effective. And I really don't like the flooring to stand out. I don't want people to notice the flooring at all. So Kota.
True.
Kota, not just flooring, we've used it in
A lot of areas.
Fine. One myth about architecture you want to bust.
One myth about architecture which I want to bust. I mean, I don't know how this is going to sound, but when I was joining architecture, they made a statement that architecture is meant for girls. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
that was something which they told. That is what they told. That myth is something which I really feel that was really stupid at that point in time. And they like sketch பண்ணுவாங்க, அது வந்து ஆர்டிஸ்டிக்கா இருக்கும்.
I've heard this in a different version. Like, girls are good with interior design. They have a better color sense.
I don't know all that part.
That's the version I've heard.
So I have a strong feeling that gender has nothing to do with architecture.
Or any profession.
Any like architecture in specific, it has absolutely nothing to do with gender. I really don't understand why they have to bring gender and sexism inside architecture.
I just posted a reel yesterday about women entrepreneurs. They always ask who else, you and who else. So I have a community, right? So there are quite a few female architects.
Okay.
So when they meet clients, they discuss with me on the problems, how to convert and stuff. So quite a few of them told, when we say that, no, I'm the only founder of my firm, architects or designer, most of the clients like, how will you manage? You don't have anybody, a male counterpart to support you. In a different version, they keep asking.
Okay.
I just made a reel out and yesterday I posted and we are having this. Okay, design in one word.
Design in one word. Problem solving. Okay,
Problem
2 words.
solving.
But Eric.
That's okay. Okay. We are done basically. One last closing note. If a young architect came up to you with 0 clients, 0 money, and only passion, what's the first advice you would give them to start?
I have to think. Okay. So
Because I get asked that question every day. I just want to know your version of the answer.
I would say find yourself first. What really makes you tick? Okay, what really makes you work? That is a fundamental thing. You have to, like, for me it was housing. I wanted to do massive projects. Okay, that was what was really in my mind. So when you start your work also, like, look at what is your fundamental end goal, or what do you want to do, what do you really want to see yourself doing, and then work towards it. You will find some way of reaching there. It may not be a straight line. It will always not be a straight line. It will always be some zigzag line with a lot of pitfalls, but it's okay. You'll have some end goal and you'll work towards that. That vision is very important of where you see yourself. Okay, when I started, I had literally nothing. Okay, so I wanted to do massive buildings. I wanted to do that 1 million square feet. I achieved 5 years. That kind of target I had. Okay, so how do I achieve there? The fastest way to achieve there was to get clients who are big builders. Big builders are not going to what do I say, encourage or give projects to a new firm.
They never do.
Definitely, they already have a set person whom they are working with over a period of time.
Big builders, I'll tell you, most of the times in the group, we keep asking about the bylaws, right?
Yeah.
OSR, what is the setback?
Correct.
Because we lacking. Most of the builders, developers, they go with people who are thorough in terms of getting the planning permission done. First criteria. And the second one, if I'm not wrong, is who can get them the maximum sale area.
True.
Of these two.
True.
Right?
And now it has become more about how can the project be marketed.
Exactly.
That is where we come in. That is where really we have been able to make a difference.
Okay.
Like, how do I pitch that project to buyers?
To the buyers. Okay.
That is where we come in as a young firm. Like the older firms, see, there are draftsmen who are far better than us in terms of bylaws. Let's be frank. The newest big firm which is there in Chennai is by a draftsman. Okay, they broke away from their old 3-letter big firm and they started their own firm, and that's a draftsman. So let us not joke ourselves. Draftsmen are better than us in terms of certain areas. And when we have to start competing with draftsmen, that is when we really deep dive and say what is our core strength. What can we deliver something?
Marketing is one core strength.
Yes.
We can add hidden values.
Exactly, like PLC. Like lifestyle amenities, those kind of stuff is where we come in. So I think that plays a huge role in terms of with at least the second generation or third generation developers who are there, they are trying to break away from their past, from their baggage which is there. For them, this makes a lot of difference. Like how to reinvent their own company.
Okay, one last question, and you guys, it's open and anybody can ask him any number of questions you want. I don't know if you did it consciously or it happened, but you seem to focus on 2 or 3 typology or specializations or niche or focus areas. One is obviously institutions. The other is housing, which you seem to have a lot of passion about. So how did this happen? You consciously did that, or it was like the other way around?
I would say I consciously did that because that was...
Okay, if you consciously did that, how important is it for people to have a focus area?
It's very, very important. That is a game changer. You will be known for that. If you do everything, you will not be known for nothing. So unless and until you have a very clear focus, and that is what you're really good at, you yourself cannot see. Design and architecture as a profession is iterative. You keep learning by making mistakes. So if you keep making mistakes in different areas, it will not pull you together in a certain direction. So if you if you choose a certain direction and keep making mistakes there, you will go further and further, and you will grow faster also. That is what from my experience.
So how many of you have clear articulated focus areas in your practice? Like what is it?
Residential restaurants. Residential interiors and restaurants.
Residential interiors cannot be a focus area until you add another layer to it, because that's the bulk of the project. Okay. Within residential interiors, if you are going to add another layer, right, I will use only sustainable materials. I'm just randomly saying. Or if I'm going to use, I'm going to create child-centric spaces, or I'm going to create interiors which are based on neuro architecture.
That will be my USP.
That will be the focus area.
That will be the USP. But the focus area is what you are saying.
No, I kind of mix match all of them. I'm saying, when people ask you what do you do? I'm an architect. What kind of architecture do you do? You better have some answer. It can be the focus area, typology or niche or something, or it can be any niche, a specialized one. See, for example, I specialize in designing small spaces. Now that's how I position myself, Space Mush. The idea is, the space I live in, Alvapet, Mylapore and all, the real estate value is really high. And I'm not looking at mass numbers. I want to do one residence at a 20 by 40 plot or a 20 by 60, because that's what they can afford. And that's what I can manage with doing all of the other things that I love doing. So, and I'm very efficient in designing with lighting, ventilation. That's it. Basic environmental design principles, and I'll finish it on time and cost. So I named it Space Mush. Mush is from mushroom. When I wanted to do houses, my daughter Sarah, she gave the name. எங்கள் அப்பா குட்டி குட்டியாக வீடு கட்ட போகிற ஏதாவது பேர் ஐ நீட் என்னும்போது ஷி பிளேஃபுல்லி டோல்ட் ஐ லைக் மஷ்ரூம், ஐ வாண்ட் டு டூ அ மஷ்ரூம் ஹவுஸ் when I grow big அப்படின்னா அதுலேருந்து எடுத்து போட்டு ஸ்பேஸ் மச் we design small spaces. But obviously we've done larger projects as well, but out of the 60 odd projects done in the last 4.5 years, at least 25 are in my focus area and I get identified for it.
Nice.
So the market identifies it. Obviously I don't know how many architects identify it, but the market identifies and people come to me because I'm good at design. So when people go in my clients feedback and all, I posted podcast type in testimonials from my clients. The first thing they say is இது வந்து 1200 1400 ஸ்கொயர் ஃபீட்னா நம்ப மாட்டாங்க. They think that it is a one ground plot. Okay. So there's a lot of psychology, there's a lot of design principles that we use, and I mean obviously we have our own process and all. So that kind of so that is focus area for me. So what kind of architecture do you do? If you don't have an answer, then you don't have a conversation builder at all. You have to abruptly end. இப்போ நீங்கள் வந்து நிறைய பேர் கேட்கும்போது எல்லாருமே ஆர்கிடெக்சர் அண்ட் இன்டீரியர் இல்லைனா இன்ஜினியர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்கன்னா நியூ பில்டிங். ஈவன் திஸ் அப்ளைஸ் ஃபார் ஈவன் இன்ஜினியர்ஸா பை த வே. You can be doing interiors or you can be doing civil construction, doesn't matter. But gone are the days when an architect can do anything and learn. முரளி சார்கிட்ட வந்து நான் கேட்கும்போது அதெல்லாம் இல்லைப்பா, எல்லாம் பண்ணி எல்லாம் கற்றுக்கோங்க அப்படின்னு. நான் என்ன சொல்லுவேன்னா, ஓகே அவரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸுக்கு அவர் சொல்றாருன்னா அவர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண டைம்ல எல்லாமே
அவரே ஃபோக்கஸ் தான் பண்றாரு
அது இப்ப. ஆனா கேட்டா அவர் என்ன சொல்லுவாருன்னா, நோ ஹிஸ் அட்வைஸ் டு யங் பீப்புள் வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணு அப்படிங்கிறாரு. பட் வாட் ஐ டோன்ட்,
தட் இஸ் கரெக்ட்.
எல்லாம் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணலாம், பட் அந்த எக்ஸ்ப்ளோரேஷனே வந்து கொஞ்சம் focused wandering இருக்கணும். Otherwise it's very tough to stand on their own feet.